Hey guys, my name is Sophia, and today we're talking about how you can use ClickUp to manage all of your clients in one convenient platform. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a single space to manage all of your clients in ClickUp. And that way you can actually create a project for each client and use your lists to break down the different services you'll provide for each client. The reason that I recommend creating projects for each client rather than spaces is because depending on the amount of clients you have, creating too many spaces can get a little bit cluttered. So in my opinion, it's best to create one project for each client. The cool thing about this is you have the ability to make each or any of your projects and lists private, and you can set permissions for anybody who has access to these items. So as an example, let's take a look at setting up privacy and permissions for my client project here. All I need to do is come to the ellipses in my left sidebar and navigate to the Share menu. So if you're an owner and an admin on your team, you can now choose to make this project private. You can select the specific users on your team that you want to invite, and you can set permissions for these users. So you can make them read-only, comment only, edit but can't create tasks, or have full edit access. You can also invite a guest to join this project. So this is the perfect example of when you might want to add your client as a guest. And these are people that are going to have access to any projects, lists, or tasks that you share, but they're going to have a much more limited role in your team than regular members. So just enter your client's email address here, and you can actually invite them to the project. If you're on the paid plan or one of our paid plans, you can actually also set permissions for the guests you invite. Free users do have the ability to add guests, but they can only add full edit access guests. So that's just a brief walkthrough of how you can set up privacy and permissions for any of your projects and lists. In this example, I am an accounting firm and I'm using my lists here to show, the services I'm providing for my baking company that I'm working with. So I'm, doing financial statements, payroll, etc. If this is a project structure that I know I'm going to be using over and over again, rather than creating a new thing every single time I add a client, I can just save this as a template and I can reuse this structure anytime. So all you need to do is come back over to that ellipses and click to save it as a template. And now you can actually create a whole new template here if you want. I can choose to carry over everything in this template, or I can customize it and I can select the specific items that I want to carry over when I create the new template. I also recommend using our custom statuses and custom fields features. Let's take a look at custom statuses first. These are actually going to be the way you can delineate the different phases of your task workflows. And we're going to look now at how you can set them up for an individual project. So just come back over to that ellipses and navigate to Edit Project Statuses. And from here you can see I've actually set up a set of custom statuses for this project to show my client where I am in my phases at all times. I can drag and drop these statuses around if I choose to, and I can even save this set of statuses as a template if I want to reuse it. Custom fields are going to allow you to add unique task columns to measure, for example, secondary status. If I want to determine, let's say, a confidence level for my client for all of my tasks, I can do that. I can also add an approved checklist column if I want to, so that my clients can determine whether or not they want to sign up on an individual task. And keep in mind, you can add custom fields for so many options like client contact information, budgetary information. So there's really a lot of things you can play around with. Let's open up a task really quickly to take a look at our assigned comments feature. On the right side of your task, you're going to see your comment thread. And if you ever need to convey something very important within a comment to your client, I do recommend assigning that comment to them. So let's say I want to actually tag Don, he's my client in this instance. I can actually click this button to assign the comment to him. And now he's always going to see this comment as a line item on the left side of the task. He's going to be notified that this is a comment he needs to attend to. And this assigned comment is going to appear up in his task list when he's looking at that. And it's only going to disappear when he actually resolves the comment. So this is a really good way to make sure that literally nothing's going to slip through the cracks. The last thing I want to mention before we end the video regarding client features is the ability to create tasks via email. This is the perfect way for your client to just quickly email you a task that's going to be deposited directly in your team. So all you need to do this is to find the list that you want to deposit the emailed task into. You can click on the ellipses next to the list and click on the email instructions button. Your client just needs the address that you can find right here, and that's where he or she is actually going to send the email to. So your client can include a subject line for the task name. He can include a body in the task description to form the task description, add due dates, and even email attachments that are going to be attached to the task. So those are a few features that you can keep in mind when you're setting up your client workflows in ClickUp. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us at help@clickup.com.